Up, my light warriors, welcome back to the channel. So this message is a message that I feel like this message is a very special message because this is exactly who I am also, and the message is saying that you are divine chaos. Whoever this message is for, you are divine chaos. Now, divine chaos is like, when you speak of divine chaos, it's like, obviously a lot of people will not want to, call themselves divine chaos, because if we're being honest, like, the chaos is not something that anybody wants to be associated with. Okay, because chaos is not considered peaceful, chaos is not considered divine. But what a lot of people don't understand is that there is divine chaos. Being divine chaos is like being a system disruptor, being a pattern breaker, being like an ego dissolver, being somebody that shuts down what is not meant to be but has become, so that what needs to be can become. Divine chaos is not something that a lot of people will consider as, divine, but it is something that is actually holy, because to be divine chaos means that you are like literally the sword of the Most High. You are like the sword of the universe, because divine chaos is what shows up when the universe or the divine decides that this thing is outdated, this setup needs to be removed, this is not what it needs to be, this is not the right way. You are what shows up when the divine decides that something needs to be eradicated, something needs to be uprooted. So in all ways, you are literally the sword of the Most High. You are like the right hand, or like, let's say, the left hand that does, well, you can say somebody has to do the dirty work, right? Something like that, or something of that sort. It's almost like if certain things that were going on were like a system, you would be the update. You would be the update, like, that comes in just like that. It's not like it might be scheduled sometime if people are paying attention, but if they are not paying attention, you are the update that just comes to hit the system and is like, system out of date, update needed, and then nothing else can be done. It's like, when you're using an app and then it's gone out of date and you haven't updated, and then it gets to the point where it's just out of date and you can't use it anymore, and it's like system outdated, download update, and it's like, until it's been updated, you can't use it. A lot of systems that have been on this planet, like a lot of systems right now, that's exactly how they are. They've been out of date and out of order. And divine chaos, you are the order. You bring that order. As divine chaos, part of what you do is to come in and disrupt that system, and then suddenly nothing works anymore. It doesn't work like it used to, because you have come to change the ways, you have come to fix it. And a lot of times people don't see this as fixing it. People don't see this as something good in the beginning. They just see it as a disruption. They see it as, oh, you're chaotic, oh, you are not understanding 333 on the timer. Thank you, Spirit. Not understanding that to be divine chaos is to be a disruptor. Because divine chaos doesn't come for the aligned. It comes for what is not aligned. It comes for the unaligned. It targets things that are false. It targets false systems, false power, false identities. It targets structures that are built on fear, built on convenience, built on comfortability. And so a lot of times, the things that people are used to, that is convenient, that is comfortable, will be disrupted by divine chaos. And for them, that is not good, because they're used to being comfortable with those things. They're used to settling for those things. And so when you come in, when you show up in whatever way you show up, whether you show up as a new person in an area, whether you show up as a guide, whether you show up as a teacher, whether you show up as a helper, however you show up, as a friend, as a spouse, however you show up, it disrupts those things. It leaves it useless. It's like they can't continue with it with you. And sometimes some people choose to go the other way, which happens a lot. Because when divine chaos comes, it doesn't exactly come in peace. It doesn't exactly come in peace. It comes with one purpose, a purpose to cause change. And usually that change comes from some kind of upheaval, some kind of shake-up. It's like the number 5. The number 5 is the perfect number to describe divine chaos. Number 5 is like a catalyst. Number 5 represents change, but it represents also upheaval, being a catalyst for change. Number 5 in numerology is the number that brings change, but it brings change from upheaval, from shake-up, from things going sideways, where it's like it goes from being 4, number 4 being something so stable and comfortable and secure, which would be the idea or the systems that people live under, to going to something that is just like off balance, like number 5. It's like it's not even, and it's like it has this extra thing that people don't understand or don't want to deal with. That's the energy of number 5. Number 5 represents perfectly divine chaos, and that's what you are. When you come into situations, you are like, nah, we're not doing this anymore. This has to change. Something has to change. That's the energy of that. That's the warrior spirit energy. That's the light warrior energy. It flips the table. It exposes the truth. It shines in places where it's like things have been hidden and things have been tucked away. Places where the darkness have become the norm. The darkness have become the normal. Because you're like, no, this is not how it's meant to be. And this is a difficult role to play. 644 on the timer. This is a difficult role to play. That's why, I say that light workers and light warriors were all one and the same. But the role of a light worker usually evolves around the healing and the light work and the light and love and, the compassion and all those things, which also is part of the light warrior's role or energy. But the light warrior, it comes with this energy that requires you to take a different strategy, use a different strategy or like a different format, because it requires you to use your sword of truth. It requires you to use your sword of truth. And with that truth, it's like when divine chaos shows up, like the light warrior, it's an uprising of truth. It's an uprising of integrity. It's an uprising of positive change. And that scares a lot of people. It doesn't just scare the people that receive this, it also scares the people that it's meant for, the people that it's meant to help, because you're like, yo, this is a bit much, oh, I can't handle this. And so even most of the time, the people that divine chaos is meant to help will also run away from it, because divine chaos is not exactly gentle. It's not like a very gentle, all-loving, self-care, or very distinct energy. It's a sword of truth. It's a sword of discernment. It's an energy of cutting through illusions, breaking agreement, releasing things. It's a sword that says, you must surrender, or I will surrender you. It's a very uncomfortable energy for all parties, for all that will be involved, for the person doing it. But if you get used to it, it's like, this is what needs to be done. This is what needs to be done. And for some of you, I feel like as being a divine chaos, like you may have thought of it for a while, like, why does this things always happen this way, where people never get me how I want, how I'm trying to come off, or like how I want things to come out. They always misunderstand me. Because divine chaos, again, is not exactly peaceful, but it is meant to bring about peace. It is not exactly gentle, but it is meant to bring about that gentleness. Divine chaos does not answer to people, it answers to a higher authority. It strips away false illusions like false stability, and interrupts any cycles that put people in that energy of quote-unquote comfortability. It removes people and things from places where they are not supposed to be, where light is being dimmed, where it's limiting people. And when divine chaos comes, it usually feels like things fall apart. It usually feels like everything is falling apart. It usually feels like everything is failing. But that is when things are actually falling in place. So where things might look like they're falling apart, they will actually be falling in place. That is it, falling in place. It is a kind of chaos that comes with like a certain precision and target that is like, break it down and build it up all over again. But once it's broken down, you realize the building up is not so difficult, because sometimes the issue with people is not the breaking it down, it's the building it up. They're like, so where do I start after all this work I put in it? 10:10 on the timer. It's like, but once it's broken down, you realize that rebuilding it is not so difficult, because breaking it down means you've understood, you've surrendered. In divine chaos, when you come in, you know exactly what to break down. 10:28 on the timer, that's 10:10. So for somebody, 10:10 might resonate with you, or you've been seeing 10:10 a lot. When you come in, you know exactly what you need to break down. You know the things that you need to collapse, the things that you need to rebuild, the things that you need to protect. It's not by accident. You know exactly what you're doing. It's like, even if you don't know exactly what you're doing, your spirit guides you. It guides you to the places where the frequency is wrong, where there's distortion, so that you can bring that order. A place that is like, the way things are needs to be rearranged for the better. And I feel like for a lot of you, if you didn't know this already, or if this hasn't been already showing up in your life, you need to know right now that you have become divine chaos. You have been drafted to become divine chaos. Drafted to become a truth bearer, a system changer, to be an interruption to all systems that were built on illusions and lies. And it might look like you're losing a lot, but you are not losing. You are actually clearing the field so that you can make way for what is needed. To make way for what is needed. And that is usually the warrior's passage. That is usually the warrior's passage. It might come with a lot of confusion, but it's going to lead you to clarity. It's going to lead you to divine alignment. It is a type of sovereignty that is like, it doesn't come looking all glorious. It doesn't come looking all, I'm a healer, I'm a shaman, I'm a love bearer, I'm a light bearer. It doesn't come like that. It comes in a way that is like total shutdown, in a way that is like warlike almost. And a lot of people might hate you for it. A lot of people might hate you for it. It will feel like a takeover and your energy is too much, and then a lot of people might hate you for it. It's going to rub a lot of people the wrong way, because people get comfortable after staying in their darkness for too long. People get comfortable after staying in limitation for too long, where it's like, I'm comfortable with this. I might as well just stay here. It's okay here. Why do I need to change things? Why do I need to? But the purpose that you hold as divine chaos is to what? Make them realize, whether by understanding or force, that the system is not right for them. And usually this is not like you directly saying, hey, you have to change this, or forcing them. No, it is just you being a disruption to the system with how you live, with the things that you say, with the truths that you bring out, with the revelations that you give. And this version of you, I feel like whoever this message is for, this version of you that is coming up now, it's a version of you that has always been there. It's a version of you that has always existed within you as a light warrior. It's a version of you that has always been a part of you as a light warrior. And even though this might look chaotic, it might look disorganized or disorderly, on the other side of it is what true divine order is. On the other side of it is what true divine order is. And I feel like for some of you, this is you just becoming who you're truly meant to be. Because divine chaos also teaches you to surrender. It teaches you not to give up. It teaches you to release control, to release the things that no longer serve. It teaches you to go through the dark night of the soul and to do the shadow work, so you can integrate that shadow and become the best version of yourself, the most powerful version of yourself. And this is exactly what you being divine chaos is meant to do for others also. 14:14 on the timer. This is what it is meant to bring to others also, through that disruption of the system and the change and the order that comes out of it. Yeah. And I feel like if this message is for you, just know that you're being led into a higher place. You're being led into a higher position. You're being led into exactly where the universe, the divine, the Most High needs you. So remain steady. 1444 on the timer. As always, listen with discernment. And if the message resonates with you, please like, share, subscribe. to help us reach even more of our soul tribe.